Right now, somewhere in your home, there's a flat surface you wipe clean almost every single day. Your kitchen counter, you probably cleared it this morning, ran a cloth across it. For about a minute, it was perfect, and by tonight, it'll be covered again. A mug, the mail, your keys, a charger that belongs in another room, a receipt you'll never read. Here's something strange. A team of researchers at UCLA spent years going inside ordinary family homes, like archaeologists, counting things. And one of the things they counted was what stuck to the front of the refrigerator. The average fridge door was holding 52 separate objects. The most crowded one had 166. And in the very first house they walked into, they counted more than 2,000 things on open display in just 3 rooms. If you've ever felt that in your own home and never had a name for it, you might want to subscribe. This whole channel is about noticing it. This is the room you clean the most, the one surface you reset every day. So why does your kitchen always feel cluttered? The answer changes everything you think you know about your focus, your stress, and the way you buy. Let's start with your focus, because that pile on your counter isn't just sitting there quietly. It's competing for space inside your head. In 2011, 2 neuroscientists, Stephanie McMains and Sabine Kastner at the Princeton Neuroscience Institute, published a study in the Journal of Neuroscience, and they found something about how you see that you've never noticed when several objects sit in your field of view at once. Your brain does not process them peacefully, side by side. They compete. Each object actually suppresses the brain's response to the ones around it. Your visual system runs on a fixed budget of attention, and every extra item in view spreads that budget thinner. So picture it. You walk into the kitchen to find one thing, your keys, and in front of you is a mug, a stack of mail, 3 appliances, a fruit bowl, a notepad, and a charger. You feel a small, dull friction, a vague tiredness you can't quite explain. That's not laziness, and it's not in your imagination. That's your visual cortex, quietly overloaded, trying to hold all of it at once just so you can find one thing inside it. You think you're looking at a counter. Your brain thinks it's untangling a traffic jam. It wasn't just messy, it was expensive, and you were paying for it in attention every time you walked in the room. But it goes deeper than focus, because that same kitchen is changing your body. In 2010, 2 researchers at UCLA, Darby Saxby and Raina Repetti, published a study in the journal Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin. They had couples walk through their own homes, describing them out loud, and they measured the stress hormone cortisol across the whole day. Now, cortisol is supposed to follow a curve, high in the morning, to get you up and moving, then sloping down through the day until it's low at night so your body can finally rest. That downward slope is how you wind down. It's the chemistry of relief. And here's what they found. The women who described their homes with words like cluttered and unfinished had a flatter curve. Their cortisol didn't fall the way it should. It stayed elevated late into the evening, exactly when it was supposed to be dropping, a stress signal that never switched off. The men in the same homes mostly didn't show the pattern at all. And remember those refrigerators with their 52 objects? That same UCLA team found that the more stuff stuck to your fridge, the more crowded your entire home tended to be, and the more stress the woman of that house reported carrying through her day. Think about what that means. The kitchen is where you end your evening, often the last room you deal with before you stop. And if it's cluttered, some quiet part of your nervous system reads the room as a list of things still undone, and never gives you the all clear to relax. This wasn't just untidy. This was your body unable to clock out. So you clean it, and it comes back, and you tell yourself the same thing you always do. You just need more discipline. You need to try harder. But there's a third force at work in that room, and it's the real one. It's the reason the clutter always returns, no matter how many times you clear it. And it has almost nothing to do with cleaning. It has to do with buying. In 1769, a French philosopher named Denis Diderot was given a gift, a beautiful new scarlet dressing gown. And as he sat in it, he started to notice how shabby everything else around him looked beside something so elegant. So he replaced his old chair, then his desk, then the prints on his walls, then the rug beneath his feet. One single gift had quietly pulled his entire study apart and forced him to rebuild it. He wrote about it afterward, almost mournfully, that he had once been the master of his old robe and had somehow become a slave to the new one. 200 years later, an anthropologist named Grant McCracken gave this a name: the Diderot effect, the simple, ruthless idea that one new object pulls more objects in behind it, and there is no room on earth where this happens more than your kitchen. You buy one nice gadget, now it needs a home on the counter, but the old one doesn't leave, it just migrates into a drawer to wait. You buy the matching set you only needed one piece of, the specialized tool you used exactly once. Every single purchase arrives with an invisible entourage, the things it needs around it, the things it makes look old. You were never failing to clean. You were succeeding quietly at accumulating. This was never a mess. It was a slow tide. And you kept feeding it. So look again at what's really happening on that counter. We call it being messy. We treat it like a flaw in your character. Just clean more, try harder, be a more organized person. But what if your kitchen isn't cluttered because you're lazy? What if it's cluttered because every object you own is fighting for the same flat surface, splitting your focus and keeping that evening stress signal from ever fully switching off, and you keep bringing home more of them? What if the problem was never your effort or your discipline at all? What if it was simply this, that nothing in that room was ever given a place of its own? And here's the part nobody thinks about. The space to fix it was there the whole time, not on the counter, under it. The dead air beneath your cabinets, the unused inches under a shelf, behind a door, below the desk. Every kitchen is quietly full of hidden volume nobody ever uses, wasted space right under your hands, just waiting for the 100 small things that have nowhere else to go. And it turns out there's a simple thing made for exactly this. A little drawer that mounts into that dead air under your cabinets and gives the 100 small things a home, off the counter, out of sight. If you want to see it, check out Keepers on Amazon. The link is in the description, with a discount code to save on your first one. So tonight you'll wipe down that counter one more time, and for a minute it'll be clean. But maybe tomorrow the mug has a place, the mail has a place, the charger finally belongs somewhere, off the surface, out of sight, in the room you already had, and the tide that always came in has nothing left to cover, because it was never really about the counter. It was about 100 small things, and the empty space beneath your hands you never thought to use, and most of us never even knew it was there. If this changed the way you'll look at that counter tonight, that's what this channel is for. Subscribe, and the next ordinary thing in your home will never feel ordinary again. We do one of these every week, and the next one asks a question you've probably never stopped to ask: why do we even have garages? More to come. Stay tuned.